Hello everybody and welcome to the Keys to Wisdom channel. Please like, share the video, and subscribe if you feel like that's something you should do. What I want to do right now is a little bit of work, show a little bit of work that I did when I was watching the Da Vinci Code the other night. So what I did here, alright, I'm going to use the phrase Da Vinci's Code. Alright, and I started to work on it. We're going to use what Da Vinci's Code is. We're going to use the mirror of what Da Vinci's Code is. And I've got a second type of mirror that I want to use as well. So Da Vinci's Code, or Da Vinci codes. So the first thing that I did was check out Da Vinci. Right? I conceal codes. Sound anything like what was going on there in the Da Vinci Code? I masked codes, or code is masked, or need code masked. Right? The whole thing of why Da Vinci was having to hide different things within his art. Right? Need to mask the code. Need code. Conceal code need. What the need was. Right? I conceal codes. Da Vinci's Code, or Da Vinci codes. So I started to take a look at it. One of the big things that I knew as soon as I got it to that, from the Da Vinci Code to Da Vinci's Code, or Da Vinci codes, one of the big things that I knew it mirrored off of was the Key of David. And I want to do real quick here is the other one. Think of your own ideas, and this is very, very important. Right? That Da Vinci's Code, or Da Vinci codes, that direct mirror, that 864, that 468 turns right back around 864783. Right? It's a left and right mirror versus the up and down mirror with the Key of David. Think of your own ideas. And that's kind of like yesterday when I was making the video about the triple tau, the Masonic triple tau, the high tau, triple tau, right? My own ideas and looking at it for myself is what brought about the entire relation into the crucifixion of Jesus, the two thieves, and Simon Peter, as well as the 4 crosses that are getting made in the 2024 over North America in the same high tau pattern on April 8th of 2024. Right? My own ideas, not, oh, I have to go and look and see what other people say about everything. It's okay to do that, but what I suggest to everybody all of the time is check something out for yourself first before you go out and look for the sources. Take a look and think on it, look at it, and come up with your own ideas. Think of your own ideas. You do not need, especially when you're looking at symbols, you do not need all the ideas of what everybody else thinks about them. They may help you, but first go at it and look at it for yourself. Come up with your own ideas. What does that symbol say to you? What are your different things that the symbol could mean to you? Work it yourself and then go and augment off of everybody else's ideas on what that symbol is meaning. So that's one of the big things there, right? Da Vinci's Code, right? Think of your own ideas, right? Not just what was shown in the movie or just what other people have already interpreted in terms of his different artworks. Take a look, if you're going to look at Da Vinci's artwork, take a look at it for yourself and come up with your own ideas, and then go and seek other sources. So what I had showed, the key of David, should be the Roman cross. Oops. Roman cross, or the Roman coin. Arius times. Right, as soon as I seen the word Arius, I knew it was a mirror of the name of Michael. And I wanted to complete it the rest of the way. The mirror of the word times Scion, right? Michael, Scion. Within the deal, it was the Scion Priory, right? This goes back to that, what I was showing yesterday in the Four Crosses crucifixion deal. The Priory of Scion. Also put in the name, but I had to change it by one letter. The name within the movie would be the last living descendant of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, according to that movie there, it would be called Sophie. This is how they spell her name. And I switched it over to Sophia and jumped right back into the deal. All right, what was really Da Vinci's Code was really what? All right, that Sophia. And the U, what they're calling her Sophie. All right. Looked up the spellings actually used by the movie, and it is Sophienebebu. But again, I'm going to come up with my own ideas. The A is silent. Sophie Neviu, or however you pronounce it in French. Right? We got a new Eve. Or uneve, if you want to look at it in terms of her being kept in the dark about who she was or whatnot in the movie. And uneve, right? Bring her into the light. Now she knows what she didn't know. I had used that. Eve's daughter. Sangri. Oops. Blood, right? They were using Sangri-Al. But El Sangri, the Sangri. code. It was definitely about blood, right? The Da Vinci's code. El Sangre is Da Vinci's. And here, when we do this, the word sangre, meaning blood, is also the word Israel and the word sapien. Right? Sangre, Israel, sapien. We'll put the word homo on sapien, right, for the label the humans. And that word there would be Eve's sapien, Eve sangre, Eve the blood of Eve, Eve's blood, or I'm not quite sure all about how French works. Adding an S upon it in English would make it plural. You could say Eve sangres, multiple blood, but here Eve's sangre. Israel had Homo sapien Eve sangre, the blood of Eve. Going all the way back. Eve's daughter. And what's the whole deal with the line in the story about Jesus and the Virgin Mary and carrying none of the stain of who? Right? Adam, even though Adam would be within his mother any which way. So that was some of the stuff that I had picked up. Christ Star, David Helios. Maybe we could take a do a little anagram thing and think about Shiloh, right? David Shiloh. Solar Secret. Right. Christ Mate. Alright, is that what Da Vinci's Code was all about? Da Vinci's Code. Christ's mate. Christ mates. That's kind of what it was all about within there. I'd also, when I translated that, name from Sophie to Sophia, right? Here we be talking Sophie, Eve, and Anu, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Law, Anu is the law. Basically, that's the root of every law set everywhere. So that's most of the one. So Roman showed the Roman cross and the Roman coin with the Roman cross. Low Tau now. Low Tau 1 maybe. Right. In terms of the battle. Low Tau, High Tau. Independence Day. Release me now. Right. Low Tau now. Roman cross. Alright. Peace. No peace. So that's some of that. Holy Grail, right? They're doing that. Well, what the deal is it's an anagram, right? A holy girl. A holy girl. Or it could say word a girl. Right. Jesus says the word a girl, meaning potentially Mary Magdalene, right? The Holy Grail, be in the womb, whatnot. Sang rouge, so in say red blood in French. So that's most of the ones that I had pulled out just to look at, to see what's in there, and then kind of think of my own ideas. Vinci's Code. And I really like the part about it being unmasked. Being exactly Da Vinci. I conceal. Being exactly Da Vinci. And, you know, obviously I watched the movie, so I'm coming through some of those ideas there. Right. I actually got a pretty big kick out of certain parts of the movie, like when Silas was sent. He was looking for the Grail, right? And he busted through the deal, and he picks up Job 38, but Job 38:11. So of course, when I was watching the movie, doing a little decode on it, I not only wanted to read the Job 38:11, like you will go no, you made it here, but you're gonna go no further, dude. And I wanted to specifically read entire Job 38, which I did, which is basically just God bragging and saying, who are you and what can you do? Look at all what I can do and all the things that are kept secret here and concealed and masked and not taught. The Pharisees and the scribes constantly erase and hide everything. What do you know? What do you know? Right? And basically, a lot of the stuff within there, from my point of view, was, nothing really to brag about. A lot of the things in there that were being said, who the hell are you? You don't know this, you don't know that, you don't know this. Well, a lot of that stuff, from my point of view, within it was stuff that wouldn't be worth knowing. So where were you when I laid the foundations of this place here? You were already born. Where were you? From before, still before the foundation. Well, you were laying the foundations of this place here, no matter what the measurements are. And who are you? Do you bring the food to the birds? And no, I'd be embarrassed if I did. On a lot of that. So I don't want to go too far here, but I'm going to get into some of this other work that I've been working on. This frequency here, different versions of 2039 frequency, Mary Magdalene, which is exactly Roman calendar. When you come up with hits like that, think of your own ideas on why Roman calendar would be exactly Mary Magdalene. Right? So some of the other ones that are on this line, this frequency nearby, would be royal blood. So I went on to do quite a few different things, thinking of my own ideas. Um, Looking at some different languages as well. And the blue bloods, the blue blood, La Sangre Azul, which would be Spanish. The Sang, magenta, French, right? Would be blue and red blood, purple blood, royal blood. I checked out some of the bloodlines here in English, the way what they're saying. O negative blood. A positive blood. So I started trying to adapt the royal blood and Mary Magdalene to these things. Alright, so that A positive blood, how do I get from royal blood to A positive blood? And that would be two different names. Shem would be one of them. And that's interesting, right, in terms of after the flood down, right, the royal bloodline. It's a lot to do with a lot of different things regarding Shem, but the name Shem is exactly also the name of Enoch. When you start to look at it like this, you start to think about those lines of lineage, right, where the Cain side and the Seth side both using Enoch predominantly, right? So you could be kicking through any of that. Royal blood code is what takes royal blood right to O negative blood. O negative blood, royal blood code. So I wanted to get into that, but especially here, right? When I'm showing you this word is charged one way and the other. Some letters are charged positive, some letters are charged negative, and the way you can look at it from either side. Right, I tend to say, when I talk about it, the Z-ion side is positive, and the C-ion, Sion side as being a negative, but just like electricity and everything else with positive and negative, and our poles, right, positive and negative, they can be flipped. If you can label them one way, they can be labeled the other way. But these two here, just like the word, is all charged two different ways. Our bodies are charged. Our heartbeat runs on that. Our entire world here, the two poles are charged differently. Right? Heaven and earth are charged differently. Everything that we have and we experience here is from differing charges. Right? We don't really experience this. This is from before the foundation, before the charges. Right? Not until this. This is when the foundation, from the foundation. See, found that ion, right? From before the foundation, no ion, no charge. From the foundation, ion, charge. So it's pretty fitting here that within this, and then are also the two big bloodlines here. A positive blood and O negative blood at the of the prominent on each side. Right? The O negative is the prominent of the negative blood, and the A positive is the prominent of the positive blood we're talking about RH factor, rhesus factor here. A lot of the stories you get from the shroud and different things would be AB negative blood they're trying to ascribe to Jesus, right? And when you get down into Jesus and the 12-12 and the real morals of everything, that could be a fitting label as well. Jesus was repping AB nonstop. Doesn't mean that that was his blood or the shroud of Turin is any type of real, but it's interesting stuff to think about and think of your own ideas off of it. Now, I don't want to get going too much further, but that's just a little something that I started jogging through the Word after watching the Da Vinci Code, and while watching the Da Vinci Code, I was writing down a little bit of stuff, pausing here and there, running some of the words, the phrases used, this and that, right? And I found some of it to be pretty significant. I masked codes. I conceal codes. And then the key of David. And if we're going back and we're dealing with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and we're definitely dealing with the root of David and the bloodline, right? All of those different things. And I found quite a bit for just doing a little bit of work on it, pulling things apart, looking at each thing here and there, right? Like here, I could convert the and of into eyes, and then I can take the eyes, convert it to just into one eye, and we call it Holy Eye David, Word Eye David. Key of David. So that's how I pull apart a lot of the stuff now. I don't really have to go and look for other things. I don't have other things to look through right now anyways, but I just go ahead and start pulling things apart. And I'll take a look at David. I'll know that it's related to the word star, right? The Star of David is one of the mirrors. The whole issue with David and Paul T. I didn't actually run anything to do with Paul T, but when I start doing that, and then I'll try to put together the mirrors with the mirror of whatever else is the key of. So I try to put together, instead of David, if I move David, flip it over in the mirror to the word star, then I'm going to want to flip the key of over in the mirror to produce the 191-326, which I could probably do. Let's see, in, and if I see star, if I see in star, looking at something like that, Christ star, the Star of Bethlehem, all that type of deal. Royal blood type again on here. And I take other phrases from this frequency, like Mary Magdalene, and I try to make either the mirror or the exact match from them to see what words are going to complete it and make it into something that can generate more ideas within my mind, what I think. So that was just a little bit of that stuff. But I find the premise of it to be very significant in the Da Vinci Code, the movie. Let's see, is there a mirror on this? Transmute, right? Similar. Transmute, right? That's the difference, left and right. Paul wrote transmute, right? But I find the premise of the movie to be very interesting, but I have my own ideas on it. And even though they have outlawed that movie in a bunch of places, and a lot of people say it's crazy and entirely fiction and all kind of bullshit like that, to me, already, Jesus, royal blood, Mary Magdalene, royal blood, and if Mary Magdalene had a child, whether it was with Jesus or not, it'd be a royal-blooded child. If, let's say, Mary Magdalene and Simon Peter produced children, Peter's not royal, but because of Mary Magdalene, those children would still be the royal bloodline within, in terms of my views. And if Jesus had kids with a different woman than Mary Magdalene, they'd be royal. If Mary Magdalene had kids with different men than Jesus, they'd still be royal. So that's part of my own ideas and my own take when I start looking into the deal, the movie, and everybody else is thinking that the children and the bloodline and whatnot would only be significant, and the secret was to keep that they were Jesus kids, right? So, but the movie can be telling uh, the, the truth in the truth and the lies at the same time, right? And so can the people who are refuting it. So Jesus never had any kids with anybody. The movie's full of shit. Jesus never had any kids with anybody. Well, that can be true, but still, the Holy Grail would be Mary Magdalene and any of the kids that she had coming from any other man. And just within the movie, it was all that the kids would only be that important, and the big secret to keep was because they were coming from Jesus. But according to my thinking, those kids would be the royal bloodline coming from Mary Magdalene no matter what, no matter who she produced them with. And in fact, like Jesus and Mary Magdalene could be totally opposite bloodlines, right? O negative blood, royal blood code, meaning Scion blood or Zion blood, and a positive blood being royal Shem blood or royal Enoch blood. And maybe we could have this situation here too. Jesus could be the royal bloodline of one side or the other. Zion are two different charges. Jesus could be the royal bloodline of A positive, or Jesus could be the royal bloodline of O negative, and Mary Magdalene vice versa. Mary Magdalene could be the royal bloodline of O negative, or Mary Magdalene could be the royal bloodline of A positive. Right? There's going to be two royal bloodlines depending upon which charge is in control of the world. So within the movie there, they got the Priory of Zion. That's how they're spelling it, not the C, right? The C and the S, it's the same sound, right? That's the sound of the S. It originates at C, doesn't originate at S. It's the first air blockage is the letter C, not the B. Before the foundation. Right. This actually will be two vowels. First air blockage is whereas A, unblocked, whatever letter you want, could be the O. A, O, C. Oh, ain't that a joke, right? A, O, C. No matter what, there's one of the vowels is the second within the script. Right, unblocked air. C brings in the s. So there's actually quite a bit of stuff within there, and then within the work that I had pulled out of it to ponder things in a lot of different ways. And hopefully I showed you a little something about how I go about looking at stuff, and hopefully you were able to pick up a little something out of it. I don't know if we're going to call it wisdom or not here in terms of what I just showed, right? But the wisdom, right, within. I think of your own ideas. You don't need everything given to you. You've got capability to bring forth from within you a ton of the wisdom that you have within you. And really, we all have tons and tons and tons and tons of wisdom within us. Some of us know how to access it a little bit better, but all of us, right? All of the different questions, it's written in our DNA, in codes. There's so many things within us that is wisdom and gnosis and knowledge, but it's covered up by, right now, our lack of ability to read what is within, or to know what is within, right? To know that wisdom that is within us, right? But it's in there, right? And also, everybody here has a conscience and has ability to feel things to levels way beyond what they teach here. The everybody has it. Some know better than others how to use it, but everybody here within them has a compass that, when it exposed to truth and to lies, there's an ability within you to disseminate what you're hearing. There's a feeling that this is bullshit, this is wrong, this is true, this is right. There's a lot of different names and things out there upon that, but when you're working on something and you're looking into mysteries and trying to solve things or ponder on things, when you come across certain things, and if you're tuned up to yourself and they make you feel like they are right, like this is right, where other things you come across feels wrong, then that it can help guide you through your pondering, searching, thinking, whatever you want to call it. But within us is tons and tons and tons of wisdom. We just have to do things that are not given and taught here, right? Think of your own ideas. You have to think of your own ideas on how to access all of the wisdom that is within each and every one of you, because it's there. It's written. It's already been written. It's already been said. It's already been experienced. It's within you, the record, where you come from for real. What happened to the line that you come from for real? It's all within you. Right? We can look around the world through all the sources and libraries and languages everywhere, right? You're not going to get it. But it's within you. The wisdom of that is within you. Where do you really come from? How did you really get here? What happened to all of those who preceded you on their way to you getting here? All of that is within you. It's within me. It's within everybody. And that is the wisdom. And that's where you're going to pull it out from. I know this wasn't the greatest of videos, and I already broke my 20-minute rule by double here and going longer, but this is just a look at how I do some of the stuff, and from some quick looking around, some of the things that I feel are important and show some clues and lead on to other things, right? Doors or windows into other things, some of these connections that I had made. Right? So with that, I'm going to end here, and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you think that's what you should do. Anyways, have a nice day.